Hello you magical moonbeams. It's been a while, hasn't it, since I've come to chat to you like this. Just a little catch up about what's going on in the studio, what's been going on in my life, what's been going on with the weather, what I'm currently reading, all those kinds of things. You can just have this on in the background if you want, listen to me waffling on, or you can grab yourself a cup of tea and have a really nice time. So, the weather here, let's check in with the weather first because we're in Britain, of course. It's been boiling. It's been really hot and sunny, which has been lovely, and everything's growing quite well now because of that sun. I'm at Brockbottom. I don't know if you can hear me because of the water, look. And this is where this scene was inspired from. So this is a zine all about Brockbottom, and lots of people just think it's this river. It's gorgeous. Look, isn't it beautiful? But actually, Brockbottom used to be a cotton mill and there was all workers' cottages. And today I was so excited because we walked further than we normally do and found the ruins of what used to be the mill and the hall. So there used to be a hall where they did dances and there was a cafe and stuff. So this is my zine all about this place because I love it so much. I've been coming here since I was a kid and I didn't know the history of it until I started writing my zine. So I want to share it with you because it's so beautiful. But now it's gone colder, much colder. Hence me in a cardigan and a scarf in the house. But not really cold, it's not like freezing or anything. And it is nice that it's cooled down a little bit, but I just wish the sun would come back. When it's sunny, I feel more alive. So that's been really nice. Being out in the garden, everything's going. We've had our first strawberries, which were delicious. The naughty snails have been nibbling my courgette. Every day I've been on snail watch, as you know, if you follow any of my social media. And the other day, four of the little tinkers were on my courgette. So I've taken it out of the greenhouse now and I've put it by the back door so I can have my beady eye to see that they're not coming for the rest of them. Oh, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It is ridiculous. And I take them to the top of the garden. There's like a big plant pot and I put them in there and I give them like bits of spinach and lettuce and strawberries that have already been nibbled and stuff. But I think I'm doing a disservice because it's I'm sure they tell all the friends, come into this garden, there's like a gourmet dinner put on for you. So that's what's been happening in the garden. It's full of bees still, which is amazing. The bees have come back. Well, they never left actually. So if you saw my little clip video, or when I was really upset about the weed killer being put in the alley, every time they've done that previously, the bees have disappeared and not come back, and I was really sad about it. And then I remembered in the bee zine that I've made, there's folklore about telling the bees bad news, the death of a loved one and things like that. So I actually went in the garden and talked to the bees that same day, and told the bees that not to go on the flowers in the alley because they're poisoned, but they can come in my garden because my flowers are okay, and to go and tell all your friends. And I did feel a bit of a fool doing it, I've got to say, and I thought, if the neighbours can hear me what will they think? But it's been brilliant because the bees are back every day. They just keep coming, which is fantastic, because I was really worried that we're going to be wiped out again. So that's really nice. So that's my outdoor news. I'll show you a little bit around the garden. It's not very bright today, it is a little bit dull, but you can see how wild it's gone, especially the feverfew. It's gone crazy, it's like really crazy. And that's something for you to note as well. If you want to encourage bees in your garden, don't grow feverfew near flowers that bees like, because bees don't like the smell of feverfew flowers and they'll avoid them. So my feverfew are on one side of the garden and all the bee flowers are on the other side of the garden. So that's just a little tip for you, but I'll show you the garden now. So I watch a guy on YouTube, he's a watercolour painter, he's really lovely and he's Dutch, and as he's painting he talks about philosophy and art and things like that, and he's got such a calming voice. I'll link him below, and I watch him or I listen to him while I'm painting as well. And the other day he was talking about the book by Elizabeth Gilbert, Big Magic. Ta-da! And I've read it a couple of times and I've not read it for a long time, probably like well over a year. And when he was talking about it, it really inspired me to go and get it off the shelf and start reading it again. And I started reading it last night, and there's a line in it that I just want to share. I think this is brilliant. Sorry about the licking. I just had muesli before. I'm so professional. The line is, do you have the courage to bring forth the treasures that are hidden within you? And I think that's such a lovely question, and it's such a good journaling prompt as well. Do you have the courage to bring forth the treasures that are hidden within you? Because it does take courage to bring them out and, you know, to fully embrace that you are going to share something. And especially if you share it with the world, if you're doing it for yourself, there is a bravery to it. But if you're sharing it with the world, that's an extra step. That really is an extra step. She also talked about a friend who went back to ice skating when she was in her 40s. She'd done it as a child and not done it for years and years. And there's a line in that as well which really resonated with me. And she's talking about a friend, and it said, spend as much time as possible in such a state of transcendence while she is still here on the earth. And that was talking about a friend, but that really resonated with me, because when I paint, I am in that state. It's like I lose everything that's going on around me, and I'm just in that zone with the paint. I'm at one with the paint, and that's what it feels like. And it's such a beautiful feeling, and I really want others to be able to tap into that feeling as well, which is why this is just a shameless plug now, but it all ties in with what I'm talking about. I've created a Wild Creative Woman art retreat. It's a course, it's not like a residential. 6 weeks in September and October here in Lancaster at Assembly Arts, which is a wonderful art space. It's on Sundays, and it'll be 10 to 4 on Sundays for 6 weeks. A very small group of women, 6 to 8, no more than that. I want it to be really personal and to be able to connect with each and every one of the people that come. And it's all about that, the bravery and the confidence to discover or rediscover the inner artist within, and connect in such a way with our cycles and our inner child and our older creative woman that knows things for the future and will come to talk to us in that way. Loads of things. Each of the people that come will get a beautiful art pack to use in the course and also to take home, so you get all your art supplies provided for and they take them home as well. It's just going to be lovely. It's going to include meditation, journeying, journaling, experimenting with different art practices. It's just fantastic. I've only got a couple of places left, so if you are interested, drop me an email. I'll pop my email in the description, or get in touch with me on any social media channel. Just send me a message and I can send you the full details of the course. So I just wanted to share that because it's really important for me now to show up, to step up and show up. Before lockdown, I used to do a lot of in-person events and workshops and put a lot of things on, and then lockdown happened and everything kind of stopped, didn't it? And I actually loved it because it was really quiet outside and all nature came back and it was beautiful. Anyway, and then after that something happened, and it wasn't to do with the lockdown or anything. It was lots of personal circumstances, our dog dying, loads of things happened, and I really lost my confidence. It just went away. There's a really weird thing about being an imposter. When you're doing something that you love, this imposter comes in and basically is like a little earworm telling you that you shouldn't be really enjoying this, because we've been brought up to believe that work should be hard. It's hard work. Now, I'm not saying being self-employed is easy by any means. You do work. you know, long hours sometimes. But if it's work that you enjoy and is enjoyable, then actually that's the difference with it. So there's this weird imposter thing that comes in a lot. And then a few weeks ago, I was really grateful that I got invited to be one of the art teachers, tutors, art space holders, on a lovely art course, and it was a wise woman, embracing wise woman, with Callie White from the Witches Revival, and it was a weekend event in person, and there was lots of Zooms before and after, and there was me in Lancaster and there was Sally in Hebden, and in that in the weekend in person event, I found my confidence again. I found my courage and my bravery, and it was really beautiful. And I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't, and it was such a profound thing. So I'm really happy now to be putting on the first in-person course for a long time, for many years, and it's going to be so good. So part of this has been me experimenting with things to tap into certain things like the Divine Feminine, labyrinths, all sorts of things. So last week I did a Patreon tutorial. This is a I don't know if you can see that. It's a labyrinth, and it's got all words written around it, words that I made. And on my Wild Creative Woman Art Club on Patreon, I did a tutorial about making labyrinths, how you draw them, how you paint, a bit of a meditative practice about the journey of the labyrinth, what it means historically, what it means now, all that kind of stuff. So that was really amazing. So I think part of the course that will come into it as well, doing that journeying, doing that discovering. So that's all about that. The other great thing that's happened is the summer zines are here. So every time I get these printed and they come and I can hold them in my hands, I'm like, oh my gosh, these are really lovely. Even I made them. I made them, and even I think they're really lovely. And I'll show you a flick through of them in one momento. So all my Patreons, they are either in your post box now or on their way to you now. Thank you. I've just got to do a massive shout out to my Patreons because I'm ever so grateful that you come and you support me every month, and we have this lovely relationship of me knowing that every month there's a certain income coming in, which when you're a self-employed artist can be up and down, but not just that. It's not just about the money, it's about the relationships that you build, and it's really beautiful. I held a online full moon meditation, and we did card pulling and stuff and checking in the other night for my Patreons and for anybody that wanted to join as well. And it's just, it makes me happy every time I see certain faces. They just come back and I see them on the screen, and I just love it. I think they're just wonderful humans, and I just wanted to say thank you because I am so grateful for you all. Let's show you the zines. So this is currently what's happening in the studio. I've got stuff absolutely everywhere, as you can see, paint stuff everywhere, and I'm working on, this is like an exclusive, I'm working on this painting for the Wise Woman Revival. I've still got loads more to do on that yet, and I'm gonna start writing my newsletter for 5 Things Friday. I've got all printing going on, all things for packaging and boxing up here, and here I'm painting, because I hand paint these. These are for the Oracle deck. So the Oracle deck's not been in stock for ages because I didn't have any handmade wraps, so I hand paint all of these with this fabric paint, which is a really nice fabric paint, and there's all different colours. This one's nearly run out. And these make up the wraps that wrap around the Oracle deck. So I've had a couple of orders for those, but I've got a massive pile here of fabric, like loads and loads and loads. So I'm going to make loads of them ready for the Witches Revival. There's Badgie. He likes to sleep down there in his little dog bed. Oh, bless him. He likes it down there. I think he feels safe and cosy. Look at these flowers as well. These are doing so well. Oh, it's quite hard because they're by the light. But I've had these. If I bring them over, maybe I can. Oh, my head got stuck then on this. This is what this tripod thing is what I put my phone in. My hair got stuck in it. I just want to show you these. Look how beautiful that rose is. Isn't that gorgeous? I got these flowers. This is not a shameless plug because I'm not sponsored in any way by Aldi, but I got these from Aldi at least 4 weeks ago, and they're still doing really well. Aren't they lovely? These ones are starting to go a bit, the gerberas. But I love Aldi flowers. Aren't they gorgeous then? Look at that rose. When I see roses now, because in Tantra we call our yonis mystical rose chalices, every time I see a rose now it reminds me of a yoni. Isn't it beautiful? So yeah, so that's what's going on in my studio.
And you can find it around you, in a book, for example. But a mentality is something that you find in yourself. And for me, mentality is maybe maybe the most important to evoke certain emotions and imaginations that really suit your soul, your world, your way of looking. Without that mentality, you won't maybe even find the best techniques and skills to do this. Mentality is about your approach and about the way you not only look at yourself and your work and the things that you want to make, to paint, but also all those things around you that you need to live as an artist.
Hello. So this is later, this is in the evening, and my hair's wild like this because I've been in the shower and then I laid on the bed for a bit and it's got a bit bonkers. So I went to town, went to the post office, posted all the orders and orders. Well, I said that weird, didn't it? All the orders and things. I've done some more painting on the wraps, as you can see. I'd need to iron these now because it's fabric paint. You've got to wait for them to dry and then you've got to iron them, and that seals them, which means that they can be washed. And then when I've done that, I've got to add some ribbon to make them tie up. Also, I watched a few videos today. It was super enlightening, about all sorts of stuff, about the connection to the words we speak and the meanings of them. Now, I know about this before, I've talked about this before. That's why it's called spelling, because it spells, that's what you make with your words and stuff. And I'm not going to go into it in any depth. Anyway, I was watching this video and it was talking about our conscious and our subconscious, and how the right side of the brain, the right I had to check then. I do this, well, it would be that way. I do this, and then that one means for left. That's how I remember it. The right side of the brain is all creativity and everything, and it was talking about how the powers that be, government, blah blah blah, whoever it is, want people to be in the left side of the brain, which is all logical and things like that. Because, and this is why, now this may be true, maybe not, but this is why they've taken things like arts and stuff like that out of schools, or they're trying to. Basically, they want good little workers, not somebody like me. Who's crackers. So while I was watching this video, I did a drawing that I'm going to do for a painting. Do you want to see? It's really cute. So basically, can you see that all right? Yeah. So basically, this is a yoni. Inside is like a Mary figure. And then we've got the chakras. And the highest chakra on the top of your crown is all enlightened and opened. And then the base chakra, we have the snake, which is for Kundalini energy, which rises from your root chakra. And then once you've vibrated this chakra, then it all comes alive. And when we've got this swirling vortex, and I'm going to draw roots that go down into the ground, and then I've got things like ferns and leaves and stuff coming off, because it's all connected to nature. We are nature, we're all connected. So that's what I've been doing. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but just as a side note, basically your Kundalini energy sits in the base of your spine, and because we sat where your coccyx is, because we're sat most of the time, it kind of goes numb and it doesn't get it doesn't move very much. So it's a really good thing to awaken that energy in the bottom of your spine, in your coccyx. You can do it. It's really hard to do it yourself. Well, kind of. Depends how flexible you are. But you could get somebody else to help. And awaken your Kundalini energy. And if they do this, if they awaken it at the same time as when you are orgasming, the orgasm doesn't stay in your one spot, it goes all over your body. It's crazy good. So that's just a little side note, it's just a little tip to throw in there. So that's what I've done, and I got some bits for breakfast. We've got a really lovely shop here called Single Step. It's an organic vegan co-op, so I got some really nice tomatoes because mine have not grown yet, as you saw before in the video. And I got some mushrooms and a really nice sourdough. I could bake a bread, but I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna support the bakery and get a sourdough. So that's what I've been up to today. I know this is quite a short video compared to normal. Any questions, feel free to ask me. If you want me to do a particular kind of video, please message me or like leave a thing in the comments and tell me what you want me to do, because I'll do it. And yeah, have an amazing weekend, and for the last few days in June, and then we're going to be in July. Can you believe it already? I say this every month, can you believe it? But it's true. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying, this is another shameless plug, but I'm trying to get my watch hours up to, I think it's 3,000 you need. So when you are on YouTube, and YouTube counts it as watch hours, so every hour that somebody watches, it like adds it up. And if you get over a certain amount of watch hours, I think it is 3,000, and you've got a certain amount of subscribers, then you can be monetized on your YouTube channel, which means that you get a little payment every month, or a massive one, you know, like some of these big YouTubers will get big payments and stuff. But it's a really cool thing for creators to get a little bit of payment for what they're doing. So if you can share this with your friends, please do. If you can subscribe, please do. And if you've got any questions or comments, get them in the box, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.